What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to a new video. Today we have something a little different. Didn't do this in the past, but what I have here is a stack of all the top players in the last two classes. Trae, Luka, Zion, Ja, all those guys. And what I'm going to be doing is going player by player, mainly just the top names, and giving my takes on and predictions on how I think they'll do this year, how they'll perform, whether they'll go up, go down. I didn't do this last year. And guys like Luka and Trae, I were not that high on, and I was dead wrong. And I like Bagley, I like Ayton. I'm also a big fan of big men, which is another reason why I like Jaren a lot. I was definitely wrong last year. I would say I'm not the best at this. I don't think anyone's really good at this, or else they'd be extremely rich. But it'd be cool to see because I want to obviously improve basketball knowledge, see where I'm right, where I'm wrong, and then it's fun to track throughout the year. Okay, well, this guy's doing well, this guy's doing poorly, and then come back here and say, oh, I thought he was going to do bad, I thought he was going to do good. Here's what I thought on this day, and maybe now a year later or 6 months later, this is what I think now, based on what we know. So something fun to do. I like to just kind of go through each one and see what I think. I am by no means a basketball expert. I would say if I have to rate my skills on predicting players becoming good or bad, I would say below average, based on my history of picks. Sell Sam Darnold, bought a lot of Darnold, sold some Josh Allen, right? I sold Lamar, guy like that. I'm definitely not good at this. That's just football, but basketball. I sold some Luka, didn't buy a lot of Trae and Luka until this year once I knew they were already really good. So yeah, take it with a grain of salt. If you're looking for advice of your own, I always just say do your research, go with your gut. There's a lot of information out there that you can use to your advantage. Also a lot of bad information. Like I would definitely always, once again, say go with your gut and don't necessarily just listen to someone else just because you think that they're the common knowledge. That a lot of those, there's nothing wrong with those, but also keep in mind a lot of people are out manipulating you, trying to just get their own personal gain. They're trying to take advantage of new collectors. I see that a lot. So always go with your own information. Really look at something before you act on it, and don't just take any information just because this person X says it's a good thing to do. Definitely go with your own gut. So that being said, let's get into it. We have a lot of rookies of the past from the last two classes. I think I kept it to the last two classes, and then in the background there I have some proven stars. No, we don't like that here. We like the non-proven stars. We want the guys who could be instead of those guys who already are. So that being said, let's get into this list. Move all these things I used to make it look all, actually not even, doesn't even look that good, but make it not just one little stack of cards. I even put a peanut behind Zion. This guy does a lot of work for us. I should pay him. All right. Anyway, card number 1, Luka Doncic. Dare I say he's good at basketball? I actually I thought he was going to be a very good player, but I did not see superstar. To the point where when I bought that purple this year, I paid a lot more than I could have bought during his rookie year. I thought that he was going to be good, but I didn't think he was going to make a big leap. And usually if they don't make a monstrous leap, their stuff won't rise. Maybe it'll stay the same or go down a little bit. So I was like, worst case scenario, I'll buy it next year. And that didn't work out. Luka, I think he's going to have another big year, more so of what we saw, more the same of what we saw at the end of, in the bubble, end of the year, where he's just putting up these huge stat lines. I'd like to see him improve in his shooting, and hopefully he can take some big strides. He's still a defensive liability. I don't see that changing, but I think that we should see more of the same from last year. His prices are absolutely crazy right now, and I think they still stay pretty high. Luka is extremely talented, and he can score at will. Great playmaker, and I think that the cast they have around him is a good one. I don't like the loss of Seth Curry. But overall, I see more of the same. I think that he the bubble performance, which was really, really, really incredibly amazing. I think we see more of that, and he continues to wow us. Of course, it's easy saying that now that I've seen it happen, but Trae Young, guy who had another big year last year. I think he averaged like 29 points, something like that, maybe high 20s. But really good player, and now he has a lot of help around him. Two guys in Reddish and Hunter from this class, who I don't have in this stack, I don't think, but they could take some strides forward. You got Bogdanovich, you got Gallinari coming off the bench. They drafted Okongwu, I think. He's like down there on the depth chart, but they also have Capella, John Collins, all these talented players. So a lot of talent around them. Hopefully they help him out. He's could be learning from Rondo, and Chris Dunn maybe can help him become a better defender. I don't know if that'll happen, but I think he can have. I think maybe his stats go down a little bit from last year now that he has a lot of help, but I think he maybe ends up being a little more efficient, and the team can get more wins. So I think it's going to be a good year for him. and wins are always a good thing to see. Maybe see him in the playoffs. That always is helpful. Next, Mr. Zion. This guy's probably the biggest question mark here. We're not sure. Does he turn into the next LeBron James? Does he, just level off? Is he just good? Everyone has their own opinions. Some people say he's a bust. Some people say he's too overweight. He can't play. Some people say that's silly. He's going to be a megastar. My honest thought of him is I think he's going to be a very, very, very good player. I don't know if he's going to be, the player that matches up to the hype from last year. But what I do think is they lost Drew Holiday. Well, they traded him. They have Lonzo Ball, who's going to be a facilitator. They have Brandon Ingram, who's going to be scoring. But other than that, this guy, he can do kind of what he wants. And I think he's going to put up pretty good numbers. Thing is, does it contribute to winning? And the West is very, very crowded. I don't think they'll be one of the top seeds. I think they'll probably be, if they make it, one of the last seeds that make the playoffs. If not, they might miss it. Who knows? The West is absolutely stacked. And it all just depends on how this all meshes together. I think it can work. And if they can make some noise. Who knows? But I think the main thing we want to see improve on is shooting. Obviously conditioning too. But I think that he can not necessarily live up to the hype, but the insane hype from last year. But I think that he can have a pretty good year where he's putting up some big numbers. Maybe score in the mid-20s, grab a little under 10 rebounds, a few assists, block and steal, something like that. And him and Ingram can be a very good combo to have. But very nice card. I'm a fan of Zion. I hope he does well. I really hope he succeeds. Ja Morant. And I think that at the end of this year, maybe his ranking will be probably in the late teens in terms of players in the NBA. I could be dead wrong. He could be number 3 for all I know. He could just take a monster stride. I don't know. But I think he'd be probably in the late teens in terms of best players in the league. Right now, ESPN, I think, said he was really high up. I think he stays around there. But once again, that's a projection of the season. So they might be spot on. Next, Ja Morant. My guy. Am I biased? Absolutely. He needs to be a better shooter. Needs to put on some muscle. Needs to, become a better defender and play with a lot of control too. Can he do it? I think he can. I'm more curious. The main thing for me is shooting, because in this league, defense is important. But a lot of people don't care about defense. I love defense, but I don't think people care enough. The main thing they want to see is shooting. Average 17 points. I think he can average maybe about 21 points this year. And have a good season. I don't know if he takes a monster leap. I would say probably not gonna take a leap where we're all like, holy moly, I wish we bought more. But I think he can be a pretty good player this year, really good player. Average in the 20s. He's playing with Jonas. He's playing with Jaren, Clark. We'll see what Justice does. But yeah, he doesn't have the scoring set that maybe a player like a Luka has in terms of, not even maybe Luka, Trae, those guys who can just kind of score at will. He's a good scorer, but I don't see him as a scorer at will scorer. He has a good year and solidifies himself as one of the top 25, 30 players in the league. And then maybe next year, the year after, is when we start to hopefully see that high ascension as he gets into his mid-20s in the next few years. But I think this year, leap forward, but smaller leap forward. Michael Porter Jr. I believe he's starting at the 4. I think he will. If not, maybe it'll be Millsap or something like that. I'm not really sure. I don't watch enough Nuggets. I watch mostly just a lot of Grizzlies and whoever they play. But MPJ, excellent scorer. I like his rebounding, because something I think he focuses on, thanks to his coach. And defense, once again, not too much defense going on there, but I think he can definitely be a great scorer for that team. You have Jokic and Murray, guys who can kind of share the ball with him, but they can also score themselves. So he's not going to be averaging gaudy numbers, but I think he can definitely average some good numbers. Maybe in the, I don't know, I would say I wouldn't be surprised if he averages maybe like 18 to 20 points this year. Efficiency, that's something that's I'm a little curious about how he does this year. And then once again, he's a very young guy. I think, say he has an inefficient year, but with numbers this year, maybe next year he can bump that up. Not saying he's an inefficient player, but I definitely think he's going to be looking for a shot. And sometimes when you're looking for it too much, I feel like your efficiency can go down. So as long as I think he, once again, he'd be 18 to 20. Maybe if he's 17, I wouldn't be surprised. If he's 21, I wouldn't be surprised either. But somewhere around that range, hope he has a big year and continues to develop, puts the team first, and just gets those wins. Seeing guys in the playoff, that's one of the biggest things. Now, Herro is a player I like a lot. One thing I think about Herro, I don't know if he's starting. I don't know what their, starters are looking like. A lot of these, I'm just going based on my gut. based on what I know now, based on what I've seen, this is just what I think. There could be some information I'm missing, and that would definitely affect my my predictions here. But Herro, I don't see taking a big stride forward. I could be dead wrong about that. That's one that if I think I'm the most wrong, it could be this one. But still a Butler, still Dragic. You still have Adebayo, a lot of guys there. One ball, and he's a good scorer. If he comes off the bench, he can definitely put some numbers in. I would say he's gonna average 16 to 17. Wouldn't be surprised if it's 15. And efficiency, that's gonna be important. Just like MPJ, these guys are scorers. And I'd love to see him take a bigger leap than that. Obviously, I have a nice card of his. I'd love to see it go up, and I can just keep sitting on it. But I think some of the hype slows down a little bit on Tyler Herro. I think that he has a good year, but getting those touches and getting the looks that he might want may not be there in the numbers he'd want, or that we want to see as someone who's collecting Herro. All right, about midway through. Also, guys, if you haven't already, like the video, definitely helps us out. Share, comment if you haven't. Let me know your predictions. Also, subscribe if you haven't already. We have a giveaway coming up very, very soon, and you can get a head start by subscribing. Definitely like the video. Turn on the bell to be notified every time I post. And yeah, also join our Discord and check our Twitch channels linked down below for all things sports card related. But next one up, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, a guy who I like a lot. He's definitely, if anyone here is going to have some touches, it's going to be him. He's going to have a lot of chances. I mean, him, Lou Dort, Bazley, they got Horford there, but I think he's definitely just going to be helping in terms of mentoring and serving more of a role as opposed to maybe a almost rough star in the past. Now that he's older, but Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, he's got the reins himself. This guy can do whatever he wants. I think he can put up big numbers, just like the last two guys. Got to do it efficiently. Let's see his assist numbers be up, but he could definitely play. I mean, 6'6". He could definitely play the 2. Say they draft like Cade Cunningham next year. Say they get lucky. I could see him playing the 2. And so I'm not concerned about assists. I'd like to see it. Definitely be able to make others better. Increase the 3-point percentage. I think he's gonna have a year with some nice numbers. Maybe I'd see him scoring in the mid-20s. Maybe about 6 assists, 5 to 7. We'll say that. And then several rebounds a game. And I think that they're gonna lose a lot of games, but we're gonna see a lot of flash and potential from him. That's gonna make us say, not necessarily, oh, this guy's an absolute superstar, but at the end of this coming year, we'll say he can be a superstar. He can take the leap. So say I make this from a year from now, we'll be like, this guy could be next, right? So I think he's going to show us a lot of potential this year. Next up, Ayton. Got some help. And thanks to Chris Paul, we got Devin Booker over there. He got some guys. He got a squad. And it's going to be interesting to see how they play. Good thing about having Chris Paul is he's going to set him up for some good looks. Hopefully he can put up some nice numbers. I would predict maybe 18, once again, 18 to 20 points. Like I said for a couple of these guys, 18 to 20 points, and maybe 11, 12 rebounds, block or two, maybe about a block, and a couple assists. He's a good player, and the focal point will be, people will be looking at Chris Paul and Devin Booker, so he hopefully will have some chances to get some easy looks, not have to get, I guess, hounded by the defensive attention, because if there's Devin Booker, I would probably be looking at Devin Booker. So I think he has a good year, and we say, hey, at number 1, picking him at 1 wasn't a bad pick. Obviously, they didn't know Luka was going to be Luka. Hindsight's 2020. But I think they're going to say, you know what? At the end of the day, you're happy. You got a good player. You're happy with that pick. You got someone who's going to help your team and be I don't know if he'll be an all-star, but he might be like a fringe all-star. One of those guys who's just really good. RJ Barrett. His efficiency, a lot of these guys' efficiency is in question, but when you're young, I'm not going to hold that against you. I just say I want to see it hopefully improve. RJ Barrett needs to become a better shooter. I believe I would say he's a decent scorer. I haven't watched a ton of Knicks games. I don't believe anyone's watched a ton of Knicks games. I watched a few. I think that he can definitely tap into his potential. I like to see him become a better defender and playmaker. But if he can increase his shooting percentages and take good shots and just be more patient, everything like that, hopefully they can get him some help. There's not a lot of help there. He can kind of do whatever he wants. Mitchell Robinson, I don't see him doing too much. Obi Toppin's going to need kind of a facilitator. Maybe that's an RJ Barrett. Maybe that's a veteran point guard they're using. But it's the definite opportunity is there for him to do some big stuff. This is a 1-of-1, by the way. Really, really nice card that I like. I got for a few $100 like a year ago. And it's been interesting to see. This is going to be a big year because a lot of people are already out on Barrett. And I think he still has some potential. It's unfair to write him off so early. He's in a really bad organization, one that's not too good at developing talent. And when they do have it, they trade it for so they have some cap space. But I think he'll have a decent year. I think efficiency is going to be a problem. I think we're going to say at the end of this year, he's a good player. Once again, efficiency, we want to see that increase. Not playing, say he puts up numbers, not for a winning team. And then we'll go into next year saying, this guy is in a make or break year. Can he take a big leap forward, or will he be good player, not great, right? Here's an interesting one. Marvin Bagley. A lot of potential, always hurt. And when he's not hurt, I mean, I think he was out because of COVID, which I think he's better now, but obviously has to work his way back. He has a lot of potential, and I like his skill set. Increasing his shooting would be a big thing. He does have I'd say, a potential for a decent stroke. And I think his role there, you got to rebound, maybe become a better defender if you can, and increase your scoring arsenal. Health is the biggest thing. The best ability is availability. You can't just missing all these games. I think he played like 19 games, something like that last year, max, maybe less. And this is a big year for him. If he can't do it this year, and he's getting hurt again, any of those things will be a big problem for his trajectory. And we'll see what happens. I'm watching him closely. I'm not too sure how he's going to do. His injuries, his hand, his foot, everything like that's been a concern so far, been a problem so far. When he has played, I thought he looked solid, but you have to be consistent. And the more you lose that consistency and you don't do it early on, the lower chance I would say you have it later on. So big time for him. I think that he's going to have, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and say he has a relatively healthy year, puts up good numbers. And next year, at the end of the year, we're going into the following season saying, hey, another year of good health, and if he can take that leap, he can really, we can see why he was the number 2 pick. Then again, if it doesn't work out, which is very, very likely with the injuries and all that stuff, then he had a lot of potential, but I wouldn't be surprised if something happened and it really doesn't work out too well. Kobe White. I think he's just going to be a good player. You got Levine, you got Markkanen, Wendell Carter, Otto Porter Jr., Patrick Williams, I think they picked. They have a lot of guys in that team, a lot of young guys. And I think he'll get his looks. I would see him averaging maybe like 17 points per game, something like that. Maybe I won't be surprised if it was 14 to 15. But he's a good player. I haven't watched too much of his game. As long as you're averaging some good assists. He plays the point, I believe, right? So average some assists, scoring efficiently, play some defense. You got to play defense. I'm a big defensive guy, so I always want to see defense from them. You got Levine with you. You got Markkanen and Carter. I think they can be good bigs, and you got some wing potential. So they can be a decent team. The East is the easiest team conference to succeed in. So I'd like to see him take a step forward. I'd say he's going to have a good year, or at the end of the year, we're going to say good player, good year, but I don't know if I see superstar. And once again, I could be dead wrong. I don't even know if I see star. I think I see good player right now. I want to see some strides forward. He did show us some potential before the season closed, but I'd like to see some more. And Cam Reddish. This is a guy I'm a big fan of. He has tons of potential. One of the guys with the most potential. Defensive potential, absolutely there. And sometimes defensive effort, absolutely there, which is one thing I love, especially on the perimeter. Shooting efficiency, 3-point shooting, that's going to be big, especially when you're playing with Trae Young. He's going to set you up for some looks. You got to take those strides. I think confidence is a big thing. Cam Reddish, so much potential. I think he's going to start. And if he does start, that's going to be good. Having someone who can defend, I believe he can be a good defender. Maybe even great if he really locks in. Next to Trae and I believe Bogdanovic, Collins, Capella, I think it's the starting lineup. He can do it. He can absolutely do it. At the end of this year, I don't see him having a huge year where like whoa, here he comes. But I think that once again we still look at the potential and almost at the same way we looked at him going into the season. I don't think much changes. We still say a lot of potential. Showed us some stuff. Showed us some bad stuff too. Next year or two is going to be make or break for him. So I think he has another more of the same as what we saw at the end of the bubble. And finally, Hachimura, one of the most popular players in this class. International appeal is a big thing, obviously. Japanese player. It's really cool to see. I like to see it. I'm definitely rooting for him. I pull a lot of Rui, and I like Rui, so I'm happy to see that. His defense, not so good. Needs to be a better shooter. I think he's going to be probably playing 3 and 4. You got Westbrook, you got Beal there, so there'll be a lot of scoring going on. That may not be from Hachimura. Maybe much less chances now with you had Beal last time, now you have Beal and Westbrook. So there's gonna be some shots going up, and may not be his shots. Hoping he can get some looks. I think that at the end of this year we'll say he's a good player, but nothing special. That's my prediction. I want to be proven wrong, but it's gonna be tough to see it at least this year with those guys there. I don't know how long Westbrook and Beal are gonna stay there, but that's just kind of what I see for now. Hope he does well, but right now I just see a guy who has a year that maybe at the end of the year we might forget about him. Hopefully we don't. Hope I'm wrong. Good thing about it is I'm usually wrong in my predictions. I wanted to get these on the record, see where I'm right, see where I'm wrong. If I can land at least like 20% of these guys, I'd be pretty happy. But yeah, last year my predictions were kind of just in random videos and just my thoughts on what I thought. And I was wrong a lot. I would definitely say I was wrong a lot. So now I'm putting them on the record, seeing where I land, seeing how I do. I'm not a basketball expert. I don't claim to be. And by no means should you take what I just said and, go open your wallet and just go drop, $1,000 on eBay. Go with your own gut. If you think Rui is the next superstar, by all means, go get some Rui. If you think he's a bust, then sell. If you think Luka Doncic is going to have a huge year, maybe get some more Luka. If you think he's a bust, sell. Up to you. Always go with your own gut. I wouldn't say listen to me. I wouldn't say listen to anyone, or else, why even do it? But cool stuff. I don't even know what to close off on because I like a lot of these cards. I love this Luka, and I love this Trae a lot. So we're gonna go with these guys. Gorgeous cards. These guys will be linked for a long time. I think these two, I'm sure, knock on wood, but very quietly so I don't shake everything and destroy the camera. But we'll see how it goes. I'm hoping they have a big year, and I think they can have big years as well as all these guys. We'll see how it goes. And excited for the season. Preseason started last night and is back. So enjoy basketball. Best hobby on earth. We get to literally follow these guys. Put a lot of money into these guys, and at the end, I probably still won't sell. Bad idea. I'll start hopefully sending some cards off for grading so I can sell them. I need to sell some cards because it's getting out of hand. And then you'll see them on my Instagram right there. Check it out. Pac-Man cards. That's when I'll start selling some stuff on my story. So that's it for this one. Hoping I'm right on some of these, and hoping the ones where I'm wrong are the ones where I say they'll be bad and everyone here can be good. I hope. But we'll see how it works out. Let me know what you guys think about these players and any other players down below in the comments. And those are for this one, guys. So thanks for watching. Here's to a great basketball season. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.